Sometimes these videos really come to me, and sometimes I really have to think about how is the best way to present some of this information. And the one that I've been toying with for a while is how to try to have this conversation about mortgage interest rates. And the reason being is that I feel like since I started in real estate up to this point, and the age group that I'm in, and people moving into home ownership, that we sort of are still in this bubble of we know when we were in those like 2 and 3% interest rates, and it doesn't feel that far away. So it feels like something that should be attainable for us now that we're living in this 6 to 7 interest rate world, which feels a lot higher, which has a big impact. Absolutely. Like, are those high rates? Not necessarily. If you look at everything over a long period of time, they're sort of average, but in where we are at in the world right now, and like the reality that we're living in, those feel really high because they were 5% lower not too long ago. So one of the things that I heard that I sort of really liked the way that they phrase this, people are sitting back in the market or waiting on the fence for a significant interest rate drop, but you're waiting for another crisis to happen. Whenever we have big interest rate drops like that, it's because we're in a crisis era. So I don't think that that is the best way to look at how you should buy a home or how you should look at interest rates, because you're waiting for crisis era interest rates rather than buying in a time when we're in an average interest rate market. And so if you buy in a time when we're in an average interest rate market and rates come down, you can always refinance into that new rate. Or if they come up, you're going to feel like you won the lottery because you have a lower rate than what they are now. And so when I look at it with people, I always tell them, let's focus on what you can afford today. If you can afford the payment at the interest rates and prices that we're at right now, then it makes sense to move forward and purchase the home, because it's a payment that makes sense for you right now. And then if, again, rates go down, you refinance into that rate. And if rates come up, you're going to feel like you won the lottery and that you beat the system and that you timed it perfectly. So I think we need to get out of this mindset of waiting for crisis era interest rates to come down in order to jump into the market, and just look at the reality that we're living in today and see if it makes sense for you to purchase. It's really simple to do. You just run the numbers. You can call me and say, hey, I want to buy a house. This is what I would like my mortgage payment to be. I'll run the numbers with the lender, and we're going to say, okay, at that purchase price, at your down payment, this is how much you'll be able to afford in a house. And if that's not a number you like, you can either keep saving for a bigger down payment, or we can readjust to see how we can make that happen, how we can increase your purchase price. Just to give you an example, we've been having all of this stuff with tariffs going on. Whatever side of the aisle you're on is irrelevant to this discussion, but everything that's been going on with the tariffs, I want to show you a little bit of how that panic and potential crisis will affect the interest rates, whether they do truthfully or not. Somebody can drop in the comments of how that actually works, but the perception of people and how that affects the market affects the interest rate. So let's take a look at something really quick. Okay, so I just pulled up this screen to kind of go over this time frame of when the new tariffs when they announced that the new tariffs were going to happen. So it was right around April 2nd, which you can see here. We were at like about a 6.5, and then we sort of took a dip right here. This is those 2 days that people were sort of like, what's happening? There's the new tariffs. Everything was changing in the stock market, whatever. So we saw a dip here, and then it came back up, and we're way higher than where we've been over the last month. A lot of people sort of felt like, okay, what's going to happen? There's a lot of uncertainty. Could this cause a crisis? Could this cause a recession? What's going to happen basically is the sentiment. It took a dip there. So if you're waiting for things like that to happen, uncertainty to happen in the world or in the market in order for you to move into the home buying process, I think that's the wrong way to look at it. Ask anybody who is a homeowner. They typically will tell you that they're happy about when they bought because they've seen appreciation over the years. When's the best time to buy is the question that we always get. It was always 10 years ago, 5 years ago, yesterday. So why not look at the steps to being able to become a homeowner, look at what you can afford in a monthly payment, and then make those decisions, or make that plan to save, or, nest egg that down payment, or ask for some support from your family. There's all different kinds of ways to do it. Grant programs, down payment assistance programs, but there is an option out there for you. It's not one size fits all, but you have great agents like me who are willing to work you through all the options and see what's going to be the best one for you.